Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me again today, and welcome to the next lesson of the Beginner Series. So today I'm going to be focusing on twists. Twists are amazing for your spine health, your spine mobility. Always a great practice or pose to bring into your yoga practice every day. And even if you don't do a full yoga class, it's nice to just kind of do a few twists in the morning when you wake up or before you go to bed. So let's get started. Today I want you to start in child's pose. So taking your feet together, bring the knees apart, and then rest the chest in between the thighs. Hands come out in front of you, resting the forehead onto the mat. And taking some nice deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Really lengthening out the breath. With every inhale, feel that belly expanding onto the thighs. And with every exhale, feel the belly drawing all the way back towards the spine. Just lengthening that breath. Trying to bring an even inhale and exhale through the nose. Trying to just keep that breath throughout the practice. And from here, coming onto all fours, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and start to lift the left arm away from the floor, looking up towards the ceiling, drawing it towards the ceiling, twisting the chest up towards the ceiling, and then start to thread the left arm all the way underneath the right. Take the left shoulder down to the floor, take the left ear down to the floor, and then bring the right arm all the way out in front of you. Just drop the armpit down to the mat. Just holding it for 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. And 2. 3. And 4. And 5. Bring your right hand underneath your shoulder. Push into the right hand. Start to lift the left arm all the way through and up towards the ceiling. And then bring the left arm down towards the floor underneath your left shoulder. Moving on to the other side. Right arm lifts up towards the ceiling. Really just find that little twist. And then thread the right arm all the way underneath the left. Bringing the right shoulder down to the floor. Right ear comes down to the floor. Left hand moves out in front of you, and then drop the left armpit down towards the mat. And find your breath. Inhale. Exhale 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. Bringing the left hand underneath the shoulder, pushing into the left hand, swiveling the right arm all the way through and up, back towards the ceiling, dropping the right hand down towards the floor. Start to tuck into the toes, push the chest all the way to the thighs, just stretch the backs of the feet out here a little bit. Just holding it there for a moment. And then slowly starting to extend the legs, coming into downward facing dog, bending into one leg and then the other. Just moving it around for now. Doing what you feel comfortable doing, maybe coming high up onto the toes and dropping the heels back down. Maybe moving into the head a little bit. And even bend from side to side, dropping the hips down towards the heels. So playing around here in your down dog, just loosening up the body, loosening up the spine. And starting to find some stillness in the down dog. Hands are shoulder width apart, feet hip distance apart. Chest is drawing towards the thighs. You've got that even inhale and exhale through the nose. Gaze between the legs. Inhale. Exhale 2. And 3. And 4. And 5, start to tiptoe the feet all the way up towards the hands. Keep the feet hip distance apart. Hands come down to the floor or cross over at the elbows and grab opposite elbows with your hands. Drop the head down low. Feel the weight of the head pulling the neck down, maybe rocking it from side to side if it feels good. Maybe taking a bend in the knee for now. Just holding it there for a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1. Slowly starting to roll all the way up, bending deeply into the knees, rounding into the spine here. And almost feel like you are stacking one vertebra on top of the other. Head comes up last, head being an extension of the spine. So take your feet hip distance apart on the mat. And then just slowly start to swing the arms across the body. And maybe moving a little bit faster. And try to keep the hips facing forward. So don't turn the hips, it's only the upper part of the body that is moving. The hips are still facing forward. So even take the hands to the hips and make sure that they're facing forward and you're just moving the shoulders from side to side. Maybe move a little bit faster, really relaxing into the arms so the arms are not doing much. They're kind of just hanging about. And you can even bend into the opposite knee or to the knee that you twist towards. And just to get more of a twist with the hips facing forward. And then really speeding it up now. Letting those arms flay about. And then gently starting to slow everything down. And bringing the arms all the way next to the hips. Coming to stand in Tadasana at the front of the mat. Mountain pose, you are strong. And it's warming up a little bit here, doing a few sun salutations. On an inhale, taking the palms forward and up, looking up. Exhale, folding all the way over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, plant the hands. You can step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Holding it for 5, inhale. Exhale, 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5, inhale, look between the hands. You can jump or step up between the hands, coming into a halfway lift. Exhale, folding all the way over the legs. Inhale, palms forward and up, look up. Exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Inhale, palms forward and up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, holding it for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Inhale, look between the hands. You can either jump or step up between the hands, coming into your halfway lift. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, palms forward and up, look up. Exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Inhale, bend knees deeply. Palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, step your right foot back into a low lunge. Start to extend into the left leg. The back heel is still lifted, your chest is lifting up, and your exhale folding all the way over the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, 1. And 2. And 3. Inhale, bending into the left leg. Plant your hands on the floor, move all the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, moving forward to a plank. Exhale, bending the arms to 90, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, moving forward to a plank. Exhale, lowering your knees down to the floor. Moving your chest and chin down to the floor. Moving forward and up, baby cobra. Tuck into the toes, seat to heels. Push all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Look up and it's slowly starting to extend into the right leg. Chest is extending, spine is straight, and then exhale, fold all the way over the right leg. Inhale. Exhale, 1. And 2. And 3. Inhale, lengthen out into the spine, bending deeply into the right knee. Bring the left foot to meet the right at the front of the mat, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Okay, starting with our first standing twist. Start to bring the right knee into the chest. So you have options here. Firstly, you've got to find your balance. So your left leg has to be strong. You pulling up into that thigh. The thigh is moving away from the kneecap. Tailbone is slightly tucked. Belly is pulling and drawing in. You can take the left hand to the outside of the left knee and start to move the right arm behind you. And if you find like you have your balance and you want to give it a go, maybe taking your gaze all the way to the right hand. Just holding it there. Your other option, if you find that you have the flexibility, you can take your left hand to the outside of your right foot, start to extend into the right leg, and again, right hand moves back, and maybe taking the gaze all the way to the right fingertips, and holding it there for another 3, and 2, and 1, bringing the knee back into the chest. We all start with the knee in the chest. Right hand comes back to the knee, so hold it there for a moment. Move the right foot all the way back to the back of the mat, coming to a high lunge. Now bring the right arm forward, left arm moves back, and maybe looking over at your left fingertips, finding the balance. Bring your shoulders over your hips. So you don't want to be leaning forward in this twisted high lunge. You want to be moving back. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1. Drop your right hand down to the floor, to the inside of the left foot. Left arm moves up towards the ceiling. Coming into your easy twisting lunge, your left leg is strong, back leg is strong, and you may be looking up towards your left fingertips. Another standing twist, inhale, exhale, 3, and 2, and 1. Drop the left hand down towards the floor, step your right foot to meet your left at the front of the mat, folding over the legs. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. And exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. So moving now onto the left side, bringing the left knee into the chest, finding that balance first. Maybe taking your right hand to the outside of the left knee, moving the left hand towards the back of the room. And if you want to give it a try, maybe looking towards the left fingertips. And again, if your flexibility allows, grabbing hold of the left foot from the outside with the right hand and slowly starting to extend into the left leg. Again, moving your gaze over to the left hand if you can. Inhale, exhale, 3, and 2, and 1. Bending into that left leg, bringing the left knee back into the chest, stepping all the way to the back of the mat, coming into your high lunge. This time, left arm moves forward, right arm moves back, and you're looking over at the right fingertips, strong right leg, shoulders are dropping away from the ears. You're moving the shoulders towards the back of the room. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Drop the left hand down towards the floor, right arm up towards the ceiling, coming into your easy twisting lunge. Again, don't sink into the hips. Look up towards your right fingertips. Inhale, chest is swiveling up. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Right hand comes down to the floor. Bring your left foot to meet your right at the front of the mat, folding all the way over the legs. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. And exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Moving on, let's go to the next part of the twisting standing poses. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. Find your chair pose first, find the stability. From here, bring the hands to the heart. Then slowly start to twist, bringing your left elbow to the outside of the right knee, twisting all the way over to the right. Have a look at your knees. Make sure your left knee isn't popping out in front of your right. Pull them back in line, sitting low, pushing the chest away from the thighs, and looking up towards your right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Take your gaze down toward your right big toe. Start to lift your left foot away from the floor and then move the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Coming into another twisted lunge. Maybe take your knee down for now if it feels better. Otherwise, lifting the knee away and again pushing that chest up towards the thumbs, looking over your right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Bringing the arms up either side of the ears, straighten out into the right leg. Ground into the left foot. So you kind of got that warrior one stance. Your feet are hip distance apart. Your left toes are now facing the top left hand corner. Bring the hands to the hips. You want the hips facing forward. You might need a block, maybe grab hold of a block. If you do, take the block to the outside of the right foot. Start to move your left hand forward. So you reach the left hand forward, and you can either take it to the block, lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling, revolve triangle, or you can take the left hand down towards the floor, lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling, maybe looking at the right hand. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Bringing the right hand down, bringing the left hand to the inside of the right foot, bending into the right knee, and then bring the left knee to the outside of the right ankle. Coming to sit, setting up for your seated twisted poses. So in this pose, both sit bones need to be on the floor. If you feel like your right sit bone is lifting up, then rather take your left leg out in front of you. Otherwise, left sole of the foot or heel of the foot is close to your right sit bone, and your right foot is firmly on the mat. You're going to take the right hand to the base of the spine, left arm lifts up towards the ceiling, hook the left elbow over the right knee, twisting all the way over to the right. Spine is lengthening, and when you exhale, twisting a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5. Inhale, moving all the way back to center. Exhale, de-rotating over to the left, just to neutralize that spine. And then inhale, coming all the way back to center. From here, step strongly into the right leg. Hands move forward. You're going to move the left foot all the way to the back of the mat, coming into your low lunge. And then bring the left foot to meet the right at the front of the mat, folding all the way over the legs. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. And exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. Again, bring the hands to the heart. This time we're moving over to the left, so we're going to be hooking the right elbow over the left knee. Have a look at your knees. Bring the right knee in line with the left. You're using the hands to push your chest up closer towards your thumbs. Chest is opening up towards the ceiling, pulling away from your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1. Having a look at your left big toe. Slowly starting to lift the right foot away from the floor, keeping the twist, stepping it to the back of the mat. Coming into your twisted lunge. Maybe dropping the knee down for now. See how you go, getting that twist and then lifting the leg and holding it there. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1. Arms come up either side of the ears, coming into your high lunge. Start to straighten out into the left leg, ground into your right heel, right toes facing the top right hand corner of the mat, hips facing forward, right arm comes out in front of you, lengthen forward with the right hand, and then take the right hand to the outside of the left foot. Left hand lifts up towards the ceiling, twisting all the way over to the left. Your leg in front is straight, coming into that revolved triangle, maybe using the block if you need to, for 3, and 2, and 1. Bringing the left hand down, right hand moves to the inside of the left foot, bending into the left knee. Start to bring the right knee to the outside of the left ankle, coming to sit. So again, might be a little bit different on this side. If both sit bones are not facing or planting down into the mat, then start to extend your right leg out in front of you. Otherwise, your right heel comes to your left hip. Left foot is firmly on the floor next to your right knee. Taking the left hand to the base of the spine, right arm lifts up, hooking right elbow over left knee, twisting all the way over to the left, looking over that left shoulder. With every inhale, lengthening out the spine. Every exhale, twisting a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1. Inhale, moving all the way back to center, de-rotating over to the right. And then slowly moving all the way back to center. Keeping your left foot on the floor, pushing into your left foot, stand strongly into the left foot, and move the right leg all the way to the back of the mat, coming into your low lunge. And bring the right foot to meet the left at the front of the mat, folding all the way over the legs. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, Utkatasana. And exhale, come to stand in Tadasana. Inhale, bend knees deeply, palms forward and up, look up, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out that spine. Exhale, plant the hands, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And drop the knees down just for a moment, taking a few breaths here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, just slowing your breath down. yourself all the way back up, coming onto your shins, moving your right hand behind you onto the mat, left hand comes to the outside of the right knee, twisting gently all the way over to the right. You can move your right hand to your left hip just to help you twist a little bit more, just looking over that right shoulder. And moving all the way over to the other side. The right hand comes to the outside of the left knee, and maybe moving the left hand to the right hip and finding a little more of a twist. And moving all the way back to center, rolling over onto one side of your hip, extending into your legs, just taking a little forward fold for now, coming into Paschimottanasana, folding over the legs, finding your breath. Inhale. Exhale 2. And 3. And 4. And 5, slowly moving all the way back up to center, bringing both knees into the chest. So where your knees lie on the mat, bring your feet or the heel of your foot to where the knee was before. Feet together, knees together. Again, right hand to the base of the spine, left arm wraps around both shins, and slowly twisting all the way over to the right. Inhale. Exhale 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 5, moving all the way over to the other side, grabbing hold of the shins with your right hand or right forearm, left hand moves to the base of the spine, and looking over the left shoulder, twisting all the way over to the left. Find your breath, inhale. Exhale 1. And 2. 3. And 4. And 5, moving all the way back to center. Bring your feet to hip distance apart. Hands come behind you, fingers facing your sit bones. Slowly start to lift your hips away from the floor. And if you can see your knees disappearing, then maybe drop the head back. Otherwise, just looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale 3, lifting those hips up higher. For 4. And 5, slowly tucking into the chin and lowering the sit bones all the way back down towards the mat. Bringing your hands either side of your shins, feet are together. And then slowly starting to lift the toes away from the floor, coming into Navasana boat pose. So knees or feet are in line with the knees. If you want to extend the legs, extend the legs. Otherwise, just holding it there for a few breaths. For 3. Chest is lifting up, 2. And 1, slowly lowering yourself down onto the mat. Very slowly using the core. And then bringing the knees into the chest. Keeping the knees quite high up into the chest. Opening the arms out onto the floor. Drop the knees all the way over to the left. Keep them quite high, looking over the right shoulder. Shoulder is dropping down towards the mat. Knees are resting on the floor. Inhale. Exhale 3. And 2. And 1, bringing the knees all the way back into the chest. And dropping the knees over to the other side, looking over the left hand or left shoulder. It should feel good. And shouldn't be too much strain on the body. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And 2. And 1. Bringing the knees all the way back into the chest. Giving yourself a squeeze. And then maybe lying yourself down onto the mat. Setting up for Shavasana. Maybe just relaxing there for a few minutes. Calming down the breath, calming down the thoughts. Always a good place to end. So that was a few examples of some twisted poses. There will be many variations, but if you have the gist of it, you'll be able to adjust to the different yoga classes and the different variations. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe so that you can get notifications of the next lesson. Hopefully doing hip openers in the next class. Namaste.